Hello everybody, welcome to another week. As I was preparing for this vlog and deciding what I was going to be filming, I realized I was doing a lot of weird girl shit this weekend and that it's also Valentine's Day, and thus I came up with the title of this vlog. And it came from one of my favorite episodes of Girls. It happens in, I think, season 1. It's called Weirdos Need Girlfriends Too. And I just have always loved that episode. I feel like it's the first time you really understand Hannah and Adam's relationship, and I always just loved the phrase weirdos need girlfriends too. And I don't know, I am a lover girl at heart, though I am long time single. I'm trying not to say chronically single anymore because it is not a disease. But I have been single for a really long time, but I am a romantic at my heart, and so I still love to celebrate Valentine's Day, even though I'm not necessarily celebrating with anyone. And, you know, I'm actually fine not like co-opting the holiday. I think that I love that there is a day where people can celebrate romantic love, but it also reminds me of all the different types of love that I have in my life. And that's love of family and friends and my pet and even art. So we're going to be doing a lot of those kinds of things this week. Also, special shout out to today, which is Friday the 13th, very cool, very weird girl energy, but also today is the first day that Saturn is in Aries, and I'm not like the biggest astrology girly, but I do subscribe to some things, one of which is your Saturn return, which is kind of this like overhaul of the self. Saturn only is in the same place in the sky from when you were born every 28 to 30 years, and it lasts for 2 years, and that time is like an overhaul of the self, and it's just like a crazy reset of your internal compass. And I have officially ended my Saturn return, and I can't believe it, on Friday the 13th, which seems auspicious. I don't know if I'm ready to sort of reflect on my Saturn return, but I can give it a try. I think for my Saturn return, one of the big lessons I learned was that I can be seen, I can be perceived, and I can be my full self. And that is something that I think will always be an ongoing lesson for me, but I really wanted to be creative and share my creativity with other people. And I feel like I've really done that on social media, and I want to do it in other ways, like with my writing and music in the future. But I'm pretty proud of myself, but I will say like the Saturn return is also like a time of great friction. A lot of friction of like ideals, values, relationships, everything. And so I feel like I have a lot of reflecting to do now that I am out of it. But with that being said, I do feel like I have entered a new era. For me, I actually felt it January 1st. I was like, this is a new moment for me. I mean, this is going to be the year of the horse on the 17th in the Chinese Lunar New Year. Which is all about new beginnings. The Tibetan numerology calendar, we are now in year 1, and I was born in a year 1. So that's like, we've ended a cycle and we're beginning a new one. My Saturn has ended. So I don't know. There's just like a lot of things where I feel like I'm turning over a new leaf or starting a new chapter. Okay, so that leads me to our weird girl lover era, which is starting this weekend, Friday the 13th. This weekend is going to be jam-packed, and normally I am not jam-packed. I'm pretty homebody, lackadaisical vibes, but we are going to be seeing Wuthering Heights, weird girl stuff, which I'm so excited about. I read Wuthering Heights in the fall, not actually because of the movie, though it's just funny. I've tried to read Wuthering Heights every fall for like 3 years, and I couldn't get into it. And this year I was like, no, I have to. And then the movie was like announced, and I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. I am actually really excited for this adaptation because I feel like I'm excited to not only be seeing things through Nellie's eyes. And if you've read it, you can understand that. I'm excited to see a different adaptation. If you want a classic Wuthering Heights adaptation, there are many. Obviously, there are going to be like problems with the movie, I'm sure. But I'm excited for the camp of it all. I think it's going to be very campy and artistic just for the sake of art, and very lover girl gothic weirdness. And I'm so excited for that. We need more avant-garde. Like, we need more walls like with the skin pattern, you know? So I don't know. I'm really excited. We're also going to a Galentine's Day. We're celebrating the Chinese New Year. And then at the end of the weekend, I am going to see Lady Gaga, Mother Monster, who is the queen of weird herself. She is weird lover girl, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. So it's gonna be packed, but I'm also just excited to celebrate Valentine's Day. I'm gonna make some Valentine's. Is it for someone romantic? No, but I love a craft. I love to bake. So I think I'm gonna do some like Valentine's Day themed things as well. Okay, let's do it all. For our first activity this weekend, we are going to make something from Celebrate with Kim Joy. She was a contestant on Great British Baking Show, and I would say she's a fellow quirky girl. She does lots of character things, and she uses funky flavors, like, or at least she did in the show. And this book is full of such fun holiday-related things, and she has a whole section for Valentine's Day. So I thought it would be really fun if we made her oil-painted Valentine fortune cookies. She says that they're actually quite easy. I probably won't be able to do the oil painting because I only have dark chocolate or like milk chocolate on hand. I don't have the white chocolate to do that. But what I think is so cute is that you put little Valentine notes in the fortune cookies. So they're like a little surprise edible Valentine. So that's what we're gonna do first. Here's the gorgeous, gorgeous picture. This one says, kiss your crush. Love is in your future. You're hot. Be mine. Cutie patootie, cutie pie. It's basically like the candy hearts you would get in elementary school, but in fortune cookies. To my Galentine's night tonight, so I thought I would show you what I'm wearing. I have this great dress that was actually gifted to me by a friend. It's a hand-me-down from Damson Matter, and it's so frilly and so cute that it's like hard to wear sometimes because it's just so flouncy. But this is like the perfect moment for it. And then I have my Melissa jelly shoes. They smell like gummy bears, which is so weird, but they are actually so comfortable. And I got them because I thought that they looked like Lizzie McGuire's shoes, the cartoon. Then I've just got some rings and stuff like that. Some Beau by Lise is my perfume that I'm wearing. And obviously you can see my red lipstick. Okay, that's it. Do it.
Oh! Going to the chat.
She's getting married! A makeout is in your future. Gosh. Kiss your crush. Hello, it is a new day and it's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm excited for today because my friend is in town from New York and together we are going to go to the Lunar New Year Festival. It is Phoenix Chinese Week and I'm really excited. I don't know what to expect from this festival other than I feel like it's going to be Year of the Horse energy. Okay, so let's go to the Lunar New Year Festival.
And feel free to ask questions if you have any.
I see that there's like a flat boat.
Doing real applicants.
This maybe goes without saying, but I just thought I would say it anyway. But I don't think Lunar New Year or Phoenix Chinese Week is weird, though it is in the video of my weird girl, lover girl video. So that's just full disclosure. I think Lunar New Year is beautiful and an incredible cultural tradition. And I was so lucky to be able to like witness some of these beautiful cultural moments. Okay, yeah. Now I'm getting ready to head to Wuthering Heights, which I'm so excited about. I've been pretty good at not seeing any spoilers. So I'll show you my silly little outfit for it. So I decided to wear my bloomers because Wuthering Heights, but they are kind of see-through, so I'm wearing like my long sweater so that you can't really see anything else. But it worked out because it's also red and it's Valentine's Day.
Do you have jalapenos here?
I can't believe I never told you this story. It's a new day today and we saw Wuthering Heights last night and I think I'm ready to talk about it. I actually love like a retelling or even a fan fiction. Like I love Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet and those kinds of things. But because I read the book so recently, I think that on this first watch, I was just so focused on like where the plot was going because, and if you have not read or seen it, there will be spoilers in the rest of my monologue. So feel free to fast forward through this part. But I think like, I just kept wondering like, is Kathy even gonna die in this book when like, or in the movie when she dies, like before it's even halfway through the book. So there were things that I was just like focused on that, I don't know, I just didn't know what to expect. with that being said, if I just took this piece as like an independent piece, not from the source material, which maybe is like problematic in its own right, but if I look at it as just its own piece, I do think it's a great piece of media. I think Emerald Fennell is like visually stunning as a director. That's probably her strength. I think the story is really interesting. I think it's very provocative. But when I think about it, like with the source material, it's just a different story. And I do feel like it is the story that I was always sold. So I don't know, for example, like the cultural understanding of Wuthering Heights is that it's like this dark gothic romantic tale of people who can't be together. And like that is partially true, but the book is really about like an insular inheritance of trauma from older generations. And I think this is like the movie is actually more in line with like the cultural understanding, like pop culture understanding of Wuthering Heights. When I say pop culture, I mean like the Twilight of it all. Like Twilight references Wuthering Heights, and I always in my head was like, oh, it's this great love story. But then when I would try to read it, I would be faced with the actual story that it is. So with that being said, I do think she made the book that is like a 14-year-old like fan fiction of it, which is fun. Like I actually think in the book, I struggled a bit with Nellie's POV being like the entire book, because I felt like I didn't get to see these moments of Heathcliff and Kathy being like inextricable from each other. Their souls are made of the same stuff, but like, what is that? As readers, we don't really get to see it. And I struggled wanting to see more of their just like intimate moments, but we only ever see their moments through the lens of Kathy. So we never see them in private. We always see them, or excuse me, with Nellie. We always see them with Nellie through Nellie's eyes. So I actually really enjoyed seeing these sort of intimate moments, even though the affair is like fabricated. So that was probably my favorite thing, was actually being able to step outside of Nellie's POV and see these intimate moments between Heathcliff and Kathy, because that is something I was craving in the book. The thing that I'm still grappling with is Isabella's character changes in the movie from the book. In the book, Isabella is like a sort of empowered character after she marries Heathcliff. She deals with his abuses and then she escapes and in the middle of the night, and he can never find her again, and Heathcliff is left like alone. And she's kind of one of the only like empowered women in the book, and it comes after her being disempowered, of course. But I understand the change of her character, because the problem with the book that a lot of people cite as like the main problem is that all the characters are irredeemable. Like there's nothing good from them. They're just like horrible to each other and horrible to themselves, and there's just like nothing redeemable about them. And I think if you're gonna have in 2026 a male lead who is supposed to be this like romantic interest, and he's supposed to be hot, and we're supposed to root for him as an audience in the movie, you can't really have someone who is super abusive be this like, you know, this like hot male lead who is like the lead of a romantic movie, right? Because Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi are not the leads in a multi-generational story of complex trauma. They are leads in a dark romance. And because of that, I do think it would have been a problem for audiences to see Heathcliff be abusive toward Isabella and still want to root for him. So what they did in the movie is they made her like it, and they made her crave degradation, which I'm still parsing out how I feel about that, because it was just such a harsh pivot from the book. I just really was not expecting it. Like even in the theater, I was just shocked. And I wasn't even shocked at her actions, because that's Emerald Fennell. Like I know that she does that. I was just shocked at like the character shift from book to movie. So yeah, I guess I'm not sure how I feel yet about that. I understand why she did it, why she changed Isabella's character to serve the romantic leads. But I don't know how I feel about it personally. I think I didn't love it, but I understand it. So yeah, I think honestly, I need to watch it again now that I'm not going to be focused entirely on where is the plot going, but just being able to enjoy the story as a story almost independent of Wuthering Heights. So I would love to hear what you guys think. I know I've been seeing people on TikTok, people have really strong opinions about it. It's a very polarizing movie, and I just need to talk about it more. It is Sunday, which means that it is the end of this very chaotic weekend where normally I have literally no plans and I'm just bopping around the house, but it's been great. I am tired though. So we have one more big plan tonight for our Weird Girl Lover Girl weekend, which is Lady Gaga. Pause up.
Hands above my head, like Jesus said, I'm gonna dance with my hands above my head, hands together, forgive him before he's dead, because I won't cry for you. When the night, we're holding hands, get your paws up, now scream, abracadabra, 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 in a tone she said, never love, get your fucking. You, what are you doing here in my house? Or do you need more? Is there something else you're searching for? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change, and in the bad times I fear myself. Monsters never die. What's your bad romance?
It is a couple days later, but I really wanted to include this book review at the end of this video because it really just fits with the theme of weird lover girls. The book is called Shark Heart by Emily Haybeck, and it is basically a novel about a man and woman who get married, and right after they get married, he gets diagnosed with a terminal condition that he is going to turn into a great white shark. So it's definitely a sort of strange premise, but I would say overall the book was not really what I was expecting. I went into the book thinking it was going to be really strange. Like, first he's going to fall in love with a fish, and then, like, what's going to happen? But that's not the vibe of this book. The book is really, like, sort of a thinly veiled metaphor for terminal illnesses in general and how they change people and people's souls morph and their personalities change, and people have to take care of each other, and the responsibility, but also the sadness and grief that comes with someone who is changing in their body and will ultimately be going on into something that is the unknown to us. Like, you know, from the beginning, like, it is terminal and he will be, you know, released into the ocean at some point. And that's just as unknown to us as death in a way. I thought the book was good. I think it's not very prose heavy, which is something that I think I'm really looking for right now in books. But the story is really good. The story is, you really care about the characters, and it's broken up into a few different parts. And it all circumvents the same story, but you get to see different timelines and POVs. And I think the second part actually was kind of my favorite. I don't know, I just really connected with those characters and the history of the characters. So that was interesting that I hadn't seen a book that was sort of separated out like that in this very specific way in a while, if ever. Overall, good story. It's a love story. It's a story of grief and love between romantic partners, between, you know, parent and child. There's a lot of love displayed in the story. I wish that there had been a little bit more prose, a little bit of something to grab onto, but I think similar to when someone is dying, everything feels like very present in the moment as you're reading. It's not very flourishing. It's not very like nebulous, or like, it's just very present and like, here's what's happening and here's how we're dealing with it. Like always, I do like to read a couple of quotes from the book. It says, "The best he had to offer anything was right now, and maybe that had always been true." It says, "The main ingredient in transformation was not magic, it was pain." I have other good, like, weird love stories. I would love to hear them in the comments. That's something I'm always searching for. I love a romance story, but I also like for it to be weird. So yeah, let me know of any recommendations in the comments. And I think I'm actually going to end the vlog here. I hope everyone had a loving Valentine's week and good Lunar New Year, and is feeling bountiful opportunities with the Year of the Horse and everything else that's happened this week. I think today's an eclipse. So, okay, I will leave you there. I hope you have a great day and rest of your week. Bye.